Welcome back. I've got a review here for Slaughterhouse, the Vinegar Syndrome release, and I plan on doing a comparison with the '88 film's release. First off, about the movie. So this was a kind of a one-trick pony for a guy named Rick Rossler. He was a one-time directorial credit. He'd done a bunch of short films and documentaries and those type of things, and apparently he created a limited liability company in the 80s and got some private investors for about 100-some thousand and put this movie together. It took him well over a year. They ran out of money at the end and had to raise another $15,000 to finish it, and then managed to get the money back through distribution rights, but really didn't make any money and apparently just never did any other movies after that. It's a serviceable slasher film. You've got Buddy here, the 350-pound, 5'9" behemoth, running around with his bone crusher meat cleaver, and it's got a lot of serviceable kills. I would say it's a good, not great, slasher film. I enjoyed it, and this release is excellent. So let me talk about the release itself. Before I do that, let me do the slasher totals a la Joe Bob Briggs. First off, you got a very cool bone crusher meat cleaver with a special handle. Very cool stuff. That's 1 point. You've got one big meat cleaver to the face. You've got copious amounts of pig snorting. I mean, throughout the film, you've got all varieties of pig snorting. You've got multiple kids hanging from slaughterhouse hooks. You've got one refried bean eating out of a dog food can. You've got one hand chopped off with a freezer door. You got one skull crushing by Buddy's big old paws. You've got one Ford Pinto chase and window smash. One string bean chopper chase, and a throat cutting, which is pretty gruesome, actually. You've got one auger shredder. I took 1 point away for this. You've got an 80s electro pop dance party that's pretty pitiful. You've got one meat poker and cleaver to the head. You've got one squashed head splattered with a car. And then I took 1 point away for lame wall hand puppets. So the total was 10, which is kind of the threshold by which I rate. You got to score at least a 10 to have a serviceable and fun slasher film. And this is a fun film. It's not great, but it's fun. A lot of dark humor, and I think Buddy's a pretty cool looking slasher. Now, as far as the comparison of these two releases, it's relatively easy. It looks to me like this release has most of the features ported over from an old DVD that was released in 2009, I believe. It's got an audio commentary track with the director and producer that is different from the Vinegar Syndrome release. So I'm pretty sure listening to it that it's just a port over. The other features on this release, the only feature on this release that's not on this release is a 25-minute, really cool 25-minute feature where they show Joe Barton at Georgetown when the movie premiered, and they were doing their road show for distribution. The film had limited release to theaters, and they went on a little road show to try to promote the movie, and they did a little thing in Georgetown in D.C., and it's got a full 25-minute on location of that scene. So that's great. That was really good. That's not on this. The other problem with this release is no subtitles, and this is a high def transfer. It's got a lot of speckling. The picture quality is significantly. This is a 2K scan of the original 35 millimeter, and it's gorgeous. This is just a high def scan of existing material, and it's got all the speckling, and it's just not this is almost tantamount to watching a VHS copy of the film after you watch this. It really is night and day. So as far as special features, there's 2 archival interviews, both on these, with the director and the producer. So that's the only crossover. And then a behind-the-scenes featurette of 10 minutes on this one of the auger scene, and this one is 20 minutes. So the Vinegar Syndrome release blows this away. It's night and day difference. The only reason to really keep or even buy this is for that 25-minute on location Georgetown thing. But that is pretty cool. I mean, this doesn't have it. This as far as other special features, this is loaded. New audio commentary track, new interview with the producer, director, interview with the lead actress, Sherry Lee. It's loaded. It's got outtakes, bloopers, local news coverage footage of the premiere, which is cool. A 20 or 30 minute featurette on low budget indie filmmaking with the director. That's pretty much, and of course trailers, TV spots, etc., etc. There's a cute little, 30-second commercial on both of these of no smoking in the theaters. So that, other than that, this is just night and day. So I highly recommend just picking this up. The one thing both are lacking that I really wanted to see and didn't get was an interview and some information about Joe Barton, the buddy. He's nowhere in here. He's just missing in action. The only thing I found out about Joe was that he had a few film credits after this, including Blood Diner. He's in Blood Diner. And apparently he's a security guard in Las Vegas. So next time I go gambling, I need to go look for him, Everybody in this film, everybody, the director, the producer, with the exception of Buddy, and I think one of the girls ended up on some soap operas. Everybody, to a man, was one shot, one trick pony. This is all they'd ever did, including the lead actress. So interesting. It's a good serviceable slasher film. Good, not great. And this release is night and day. I mean, it's a must own. So there you go. That's excuse me. That's my review for Slaughterhouse. Thanks for watching.